The start of a new season is the start of a new dream. Excitement and anticipation of what could become May, or the fear of a long and tough battle ahead. We all have our dreams for our teams. Each 90-minute match, every win, lose and draw, we'll be there together for our clubs. Each tackle, kick of the ball, yellow card, red card and goal that goes in, keep the belief. It's not over until the full-time whistle. Enjoy every up and be there when your team are down. The next 9 months will be a rollercoaster ride. Don't stop believing. It's the start of a new journey. It's the start of a brand new season. Hello guys, how are you all doing? Welcome back to Goals Galore and welcome to my Match Week 1 predictions for the Championship. Yes, that's right, a whole season has completely finished, so we're back around the corner again. The Euros is all finished now, and it's time to get back in that mode for club football once again. Today we're predicting Match Week 1 for the Championship. Be sure to join the Prediction League. All you need to do for that is be subscribed to the channel, and of course, leave all your predictions in the comment section down below, and I'll do the rest. And throughout the season, we can make it a bit competitive between each other, and see who comes out on top after Match Week 46. Right then, let's get predicting the Championship for another season. If you do go on to enjoy, smash the like button and subscribe as always. Here we go. Match Week 1 predictions for the 2024-25 season in the Championship. We begin on the Friday night with 2 games taking place, but the first one we're going to visit is at Ewood Park. It's Blackburn versus Derby. Derby, of course, came in second place in League One last season to secure their place in the Championship for this season, while Blackburn, of course, narrowly avoided relegation to League One last season thanks to that man Sami Smojic, who we're not even sure if he'll play in this game or still be a Blackburn player come the end of the window. Of course, Blackburn fans will hope so. In the transfer window, of course, both sides have made a few signings. Nothing incredible from either side, I must say. But in this game, it's really hard to predict for all of these 12 games because we've not really got much to go off. Of course, pre-season results, you can't really read into them too much. Derby have really suffered in pre-season. Blackburn haven't really seen many of their results this pre-season, been quite quiet. In this game for the opening game of the season, I'm going to go Blackburn just about to edge it. 2-1 in this game against Derby because they're at home. Yeah, 2-1 Blackburn. Just seems right, that one. Off to the other game, kicking off at the exact same time on the Friday. It is Preston versus Sheffield United. Sheffield United, of course, relegated from the Premier League last season under miserable circumstances. Of course, Chris Wilder oversaw the last few weeks and few months of that relegation season last year. And he's got a big job to do this season. The expectation will be there from Sheffield United fans. In this game, starting the season off away at Deepdale against Preston, who have lost their key man, Alan Brown, and not really been too busy in the transfer window. In this opening game, I can see a close first half, but second half, I think the quality comes through from Sheffield United, and they win this one 2-0. Of course, it's interesting as well, because Sheffield United start on -2, so I think I'll back them for a win here. They'll get back up to positive points. On to the lunchtime games on the Saturday then. This is where majority of them have been played. We begin at the Cardiffcity Stadium for Cardiff versus Sunderland. Now, last season, you probably would have tipped Sunderland to finish above Cardiff, but it was actually the other way round. Both sides have made a few signings in the transfer window. Not that many, though. Cardiff bringing in the likes of Chris Willock, Cam Chambers as well. Kanga's in there also. I think I'm missing a few as well. For Sunderland, they've signed Alan Brown, who we just spoke about for Preston. Ian Pavada's also in there. And that's probably about it for Sunderland at the moment. Also a new manager for them, so let's see how he gets on in his previous role. He got relegated with Lorient. Big test for both sides in this one. I've been doing a bit of research in this fixture, and it seems like the away side always dominates and gets the results, really, majority of the time. So I'm going to back with that logic. Both sides are going to have good seasons for me. They'll finish close to each other at the end of the season. For me, though, Cardiff 0, Sunderland 1. Just about winning this one. Moving on to Hull, hosting Bristol City. And I think it's fair to say both sides had good seasons last year, but this year it doesn't seem like both sides will follow on the same track as that. I feel like Bristol City will continue to grow under Liam Manning, of course. However, the Tommy Conway situation isn't ideal. As for Hull, of course, lost Liam Rossignol, lost a lot of their big players, likes of Greaves, Philogene, Tufan have all gone. They've replaced them with Giles being made a permanent deal, and Cody Dramer, who look like tidy signings for them. However, though, in this game, I've got Hull 1, Bristol City 2. I'm pretty sure this was the opening game of the season last year as well for these two clubs. They're getting sick and tired of each other, but Bristol City to get the 3 points on the opening day here. Moving on, we go to Ellen Road for Leeds versus Portsmouth. It's great to see Portsmouth back in the Championship, but they start with a really tricky fixture against Leeds. It's not just this one. You look on to the next 7-8 games, and it's very tricky. They have to play a lot of the big teams. However, the upside on that is that further along in the season, they have a nice run of fixtures where you feel like they're going to have to go on a run and pick up quite a few results. In this game, it's really hard to look past Leeds. They've had a decent window, lost likes of Archie Gray, Glenn Kamara and Somerville, who were big players for them last season. However, they have brought in a few players also, like of course, Jim Bogle's come in. Joe Rodon's now been made a permanent deal as well. So a few tidy signings in there as well for Leeds United. As for Portsmouth, of course, they've done some tidy business also. Sam Silvera's coming on loan. They've also got the likes of Matt Ritchie back at the club, which is a great signing. Happy for everyone involved in that. I know it's like for a player that's not been with your club for ages to come back with Swansea and Joe Allen. Of course, that was a great moment. So I'm really happy for that for Portsmouth. Josh Murphy in there as well. The only thing about Portsmouth is that Colby Bishop, of course, is going to miss quite a big chunk of the season due to something that came up in a heart scan recently, which is very unfortunate. In this game, though, at Ellen Road, I cannot look past Leeds. Leeds to get the win in the opening day, 2-0. However, they did, of course, draw 2-2 on the opening day last season when they were at home against Cardiff. And they were 2-0 down in that one. So, and of course, it was to a team in blue. So, you never know. Portsmouth could get something from this game. If they do, it's a huge result. I'm just going to back Leeds here, 2-0. Off to the Riverside, it's Middlesbrough versus my side, Swansea. And to be honest, I feel like both of these sides are going to have great seasons. I hope so anyway. Of course, Middlesbrough, we already know the talent in their squad. And Michael Carrick in the dugout, of course, is a great manager at this level. They've made some tidy business in terms of transfers, of course, as well. As for my team, Swansea, of course, I'm very excited for this game. Should be doing quite a lot of watch-alongs this season, as well as, of course, the matchday vlogs. So any Championship fans, subscribe to the channel. And when your side comes to Swansea this season, there'll be a matchday vlog for that one. Hoping that I'm able to get to it, of course. So in this one then, Middlesbrough versus Swansea. Played them very recently at the back end of last season. And Borough did win 2-0. We weren't great in that one. But since then, we've made a few signings. We've looked really good recently. Pre-season, of course, we've been okay. Just beat Rio A 3-0 in pre-season friendly. Can't really read into it too much, but it was a good performance. I'm quite optimistic. Middlesbrough don't start seasons too well, but I'm going to flip all that on its head and say Borough win 2-1 in this one. Hopefully, I'm proved wrong by backing against us somehow works in favour for the Swans, but I just feel like Middlesbrough are going to have a little bit too much for us and win 2-1 on the opening day. However, I hope I'm wrong, of course. To the den, it's Millwall versus Watford. Two sides that I can see towards the bottom end of the table this year. Hope not, though. Hopefully both of them can prove me wrong, of course. Of course, it's Tom Cleverley for Watford, who have had a very quiet summer, haven't they? And the owners just seem like they don't care. As for Millwall, of course, they've been very busy. Of course, McCoy Longstaff, the main man to look out for this season for them, I'd have to say, because of his record at League Two. Can he continue it at the Championship level? Because if he can, then Millwall have got a bargain. In this one, I'm going to back Millwall. They ended last season very strong. Watford are one of those sides where you feel like a point is going to be good for them in the majority of these games this season. They've just, the calibre of their team has just dropped significantly in the last few years. In this one, Millwall to win 3-1 at the Den. Moving on, we go to Oxford United. Their first time in the Championship since the 90s. So a awaited return for them. However, they do start it at home, which is great for them. However, opposition is Norwich City, who at this level in the Championship are proven and a big side, making the playoffs last season. However, not being able to overcome Leeds United, of course. In this game against Oxford, tricky game. Of course, both sides have good squads. Norwich is a chance for them to be caught off guard from an Oxford point of view, because of, losing Gabriel Sara. He's a key player, new manager as well for Norwich. So it could take a bit of, a few weeks for them to get going. Oxford, of course, look pretty settled at the moment. In this one, though, it's hard to back against Norwich. I'm going 3-1 Norwich in this one. It's just a gut feeling, that one. I'd love to put down an Oxford win, but for me, 3-1 Norwich. Moving on, then we go to QPR versus West Brom, and this game was played, what was it, March? And it was a 2-2 thriller at Loftus Road, of course, hoping for more of the same this season. West Brom really have weakened. The likes of Cedric Kipre have gone, Con Townsend have gone, Brendan Thomas Asante's gone as well. I'm missing loads. Okay, Kuslu as well. You know, there's a lot of players that have left from that side of last season. The positive thing is that, of course, they've got Carlos Corberán, who is almost an expert at this level until the playoffs. Against QPR, though, who have brought in a few decent signings in the transfer window. Of course, Raphael Varane's brother as well, signing for them recently. Be a good game, this one. I've got QPR to win 2-1. Off to Stoke, hosting Coventry for the opening day of this season. The opening day last season, it's a bit of a contrast. They battered Rotherham 4-1, of course. The big sign for them in the transfer window was Victor Johansson, of course, the goalkeeper from Rotherham. Looks a solid pickup there. Under Steven Schumacher, let's see what Stoke can do this season. Hosting Coventry on the opening day of the season, though, is no easy game. However, much like Middlesbrough, Coventry sometimes are slow starters in the Championship, so they'll be hoping they get off to a good start this season again, of course. But for Coventry, I cannot look past them. They're stacked in every position. It's incredible, and I think they're going to have a special season this year. Coventry to win away at Stoke 2-0 on the opening day. Now we move on to the Sunday game at Sheffield Wednesday at Hillsborough, hosting Plymouth Argyle, of course, of Wayne Rooney. This is a very interesting matchup. Of course, Sheffield Wednesday, the side that made the great escape last season under Danny Roll, and have added to their squad significantly over the summer. As for Plymouth, of course, taking multiple backward steps towards the end of last season with their managerial appointments, and now going for Wayne Rooney. I mean, out of everyone that was available, why him? But they've stuck with him. They've gone bold. Fair play to them. And it could work out, of course. He's had pre-season, of course, which is always helpful for a new manager. In this one, though, I cannot look past Sheffield Wednesday. The home form towards the back end of last season under Danny Roll was great. Plymouth's away form last season as well. I think it took them to February to beat my team Swansea away for their first away victory of the season. That's typical, isn't it? But in this one, I've got Sheffield Wednesday to win 2-0 at Hillsborough. And the final game of Match Week 1 to predict is on the Monday. It's an absolute thriller. It's the two sides that got relegated last season. Luton Town versus Burnley at Kenilworth Road. It's going to be a cracker under the lights. I hope to do a watch-along for this game, and be sure to join me. Luton, of course, they've not really lost any big players over the transfer window. Ross Barkley being the obvious one. Osho as well is in there, being lost. But apart from that, they've only strengthened as well. So it's looking good for Luton. They've kept the majority of their side last year as well, who were competing to stay up in the division last year. As for Burnley, of course, their squad's also looking stacked. New manager for them, Scott Parker. Also, let's see what he can do this season. Both sides are stacked in every department. They're my top two in the Championship. If you want to see what order, check that video out. Also, it's on the channel. In this one, I've gone for Luton Town 1, Burnley 0. It's going to be interesting. Of course, last season, I'm pretty sure Burnley won and drew against Luton, if I'm right in saying that. It was something like that. They definitely beat Luton last season at Kenilworth Road. But it was going to be a big game, this one. Big, interesting game, because the winner for this, probably sets himself in better stead, of course, for the start of the season, and has an early advantage over the other, who I just said I feel like will be the top two this season. So it'll be interesting. I'm very excited for all these games, of course. If you have enjoyed my predictions for Match Week 1 of the Championship, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. There'll be loads of content related to the Championship, Premier League and League One, hopefully, throughout the course of the season. So this is the place to be if you're a big football fan as well. Matchday vlogs, of course, coming on the channel very soon for Match Week 2 when the Swans play Preston. And then Match Week 3 is the South Wales Derby matchday vlog, which I cannot wait for. That's me absolute limbs. But no, be sure to join the Prediction League by simply putting all 12 results in the comment section down below of what you think will happen, and I'll do the rest of that. Then the Prediction League will be updated every week after the game's been played, of course, after all 12 games have been played, on the community tab, so be sure to stay tuned on there as well. Right then, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed. If you want to check out another video, check out my 1 to 24 Championship predictions. I'm not too sure if anyone's going to agree with them, but of course, Be sure to let me know your thoughts in that video comments as well. And until next time, guys, take care, stay safe, see you soon. Goodbye.